Hello, it's Simon Zutshi here, and in this video, I'm going to answer the questions that many people have been privately asking me over the last couple of weeks since the big clash of the property titans. Yes, of course, I'm talking about the Samuel Leeds versus Rob Moore charity boxing match. A lot of people ask me, Simon, would you get into the ring? Do you think this Rob Moore versus Samuel Leeds fight was fixed? Do they really hate each other? So I'm going to share with you my views. I'm also going to explain what I think was behind all of this. And for the very first time ever, I'm going to explain exactly what do I think about Samuel Leeds and what do I think about Rob Moore. So first of all, let's talk about this big charity fight. And I want to congratulate the guys, first of all, for raising so much money for charity. No matter what you think, whether you think it's all about PR and ego, whatever, I just want to congratulate for raising such a huge amount of money for charity. A lot of people say, Simon, would you do something like that? Well, I personally would not get into a boxing ring, even as clash of the property titans. That's not what my style really, for three really good reasons. The first reason is that, I'm over 50. I don't think that would be very good for my health. And I'm sure either Rob or Samuel will be able to kick my ass, which I wouldn't really want. So that's the first thing. Secondly, to do something like this, you've got to train. If you want to be successful in anything, you've got to put time and effort in to get great results. And I know both Rob and Samuel, who I know personally, they both put a lot of effort in to train up. And I think Samuel, the way he kind of, shaped up was pretty impressive. So again, well done to both of them for doing that. And the third reason is, I don't think I want to be smacked in the face. I mean, call me old-fashioned, but I think there are much better ways of raising money for charity. Not taking away, guys, you did an amazing job. But what this charity boxing match, this kind of clash of the property titans was all about was PR and marketing. And I have to take my hat off to both Rob Moore and Samuel Leeds, both incredibly good marketeers. Now, there was all this kind of, we hate each other. And, I think there's no love lost between Rob Moore or Samuel Leeds. And they keep on talking about who's got the biggest property company. So there's definitely a little bit of ego there. And I'm not quite sure who baited each other. I'm not sure if you've watched the full fight, but there's a lot of videos about the build up to the fight. But, it's a bit like WWF. There's a lot of marketing, there's a lot of hype going on, and that's part of the game. And again, full credit to Rob and Samuel. They've done this amazing marketing job. Everyone in the property world is talking about this, and I'm even doing a video. I never thought I would do that, but hey, I'm doing a video because so many people have asked me questions saying, would I get into the ring with either of them or indeed with anyone to do a boxing match like this? So you've got to recognize this is all about marketing and PR. And actually, a message I want to get to you out of this is that, it might appear like they're at loggerheads and they hate each other, and they might hate each other, but they have collaborated. And this is what successful people do. And both Rob and Sam, they're both very, very successful in what they do. I'll tell you what I think about them individually in a moment, but we have to recognize they've actually collaborated here. And if you want to achieve more in life, rather than competing with people, maybe you should start collaborating more with other people. And, there's a saying that at the bottom, people compete, but at the top, they collaborate. And it's exactly what Samuel Leeds and Rob Moore have both done on this charity boxing match. They've really come together, and they talked about on the Zoom calls. I know Samuel's brother, Russell, was on quite a few of the calls with Rob and his team to do the organizing and kind of let him get on with it. But to organize an event like this, there's got to be a lot of collaboration. It just doesn't happen. There's a huge amount of work and effort goes into something behind this. So I think both of them are very good at their marketing, both are good at their PR, and this kind of rivalry has just played into all of that. And that's why everyone has been interested about it. But remember this collaboration thing, that's the key thing. So what do I think about Rob Moore and what do I think about Samuel Leeds? Let's talk about Samuel Leeds first of all. And a lot of people say, hey, didn't Samuel Leeds do your property mastermind program? Well, I want to set the record straight here. First of all, Samuel has not done my property mastermind training. His stepfather, Tim, did do our very first property mastermind program. And I believe we created DVDs, which we gave to all the delegates. And I'm pretty sure that Samuel watched and went through some of those, because Tim spoke to me and said, look, he knew that one of my hobbies was magic. And at the time, I think Samuel was about 17. He was doing magic, working with his brother and also his real father. And his stepdad, Tim, didn't really think that was a great career. So look, Simon, will you speak to him? So yeah, happy. I had a conversation with Samuel, and I said, look, magic's great, but you want to get some passive income in place. And I certainly did help Samuel understand how he could buy his first property with none of his own money. And he went, and I think he bought on the same road. I had quite a lot of my HMOs, Bourneville Lane in Birmingham. And I want to just acknowledge Samuel here. One of the things I really like and respect about Samuel Leeds, and I don't agree with everything he does, absolutely, but I do respect him for acknowledging his journey, and he gives full credit to all the people who've helped him along his journey. And I've done an interview with Samuel, and he was very thankful for me helping getting him on the property ladder and getting him started. But Samuel has gone and learned from many other people after me, and I think he is someone who, like me, continues looking to invest in himself and get better and better. And he's very public about the people who he's paid and trained with and mentored with. And I believe one of Samuel's reasons why he's been successful is because he keeps on investing in himself. I don't agree with everything he says. He doesn't probably agree with everything I says. We train in a very different way, but you've got to admire what he's done and how he's grown his property business as well. So actually, I quite like Samuel. I think I think his heart's in the right place, and I think he genuinely wants to help people to become successful. If I'm completely honest, I think the way he sometimes speaks is kind of a bit evangelical. I think actually sometimes he attracts people who may not be that successful, and I think they put all their hopes in him, which maybe is unfair. I mean, you've got to take responsibility for your success. And I think the way that Property Tribes had a real campaign against Samuel, I think was completely unfair. And Samuel, to his credit, he stood up for himself. And he actually has taken Property Tribes and Vanessa Warwick to court over that, and as he should do. And what I think was incredibly smart of Samuel as well, to actually buy shares in Property Tribes. He's one of the biggest shareholders now. So I've got a lot of respect for Samuel. I don't agree with everything he does, but yeah, full credit to Samuel for everything you've done. Let's talk about Rob Moore now. And I first met Rob when I think he first started out with Mark, actually in their business, and I don't know when it was kind of mid-2000s, I think, and they started Progressive Property, two young guys working together, and look, they've done incredibly well. I don't know if Progressive or Samuel's is the biggest property company. I think Progressive certainly were. Then I think Samuel maybe got to the point he became as big, and probably Progressive's bigger now. Do I really care about that? No. What Rob has done very well is he has got himself out the business by training people below him how to be successful trainers, etc. And that's his route. And he's now focusing a lot more on his podcast. And by the way, if you want to learn about podcasts, go and learn from Rob Moore. He's absolutely the best one. He's absolutely smashed it with his Disruptors podcast. I used to think, especially when Rob started out, I think he was a little bit arrogant, a little bit cocky, if I'm really honest. But you know what? I think he's definitely mellowed. And I think he's a very smart guy, very successful what he does. And actually, I count, Rob and Samuel as friends. They might not be any after this video, who knows? But actually, I don't have any beef with them. And actually, I think competition is good. Competition within any industry is good. It keeps standards high. And people sometimes say to me, what's the difference between your training or Samuel's training, whatever? Look, I would suggest, go and listen to Rob, go and listen, or his trainers, go and listen to Samuel, his trainers, come and listen to me, because I actually do most of the training in my company because that's what I love to do. I don't have to do any of this, but I do it because I love it. And I think that's why our company is certainly smaller than both Progressive and also Samuel's company, because we deliberately kept, because I like doing the training. I have some great trainers who work with me. We have obviously Andy, who's my key right-hand man. He's a lot of the training for us on Mastermind, but I'm still there because I love to train. I love to see people change their life. And that's why I personally train. So I think people have different motives and different incentives. But I think everyone generally in the property world, the education world, gets a very unfair bashing by a lot of people who don't really know what they're talking about, who think all property training is rubbish. Well, I became a self-made millionaire doing it myself. It took me 8 years to replace my income, very much doing it on my own, the hard way through trial and terror. And you know what? If you're smart and you want to learn something, why on earth would you not find someone who's done what you want to achieve, who's gone there, who's made the mistakes, so you don't have to make the mistakes, so you can learn from them. And as long as they've got lots of successful students and you know that they become good at teaching that, why on earth would you not invest some money with them to save yourself a huge amount of time and effort? And that's whatever I do, whenever I want to learn a new skill, whether it's in business, marketing, whatever, I'll go and do that. So I don't have any problem with Samuel or with Rob. We teach in different ways. I think obviously the way we teach is the best. That's why we do what we do. But you know what? Go and listen to everyone. You decide who you resonate with the most, and that's probably who you should train with. But coming back to this point of collaboration, if you want to be more successful, don't try and do everything on your own. You want to get help from other people. And you can meet people at property training events, property networking events, who might have resources that you don't have. So you have a lot of people who have got money, but they don't necessarily have time or knowledge or inclination to find great deals. And there are people who have run out of their own cash, but they got time and they can find great deals. And those people can work together. Whenever you work together, of course, you need to get to know people. You need to do your due diligence to make sure that they're right. Obviously, you need to get to, make sure you've got aligned visions and values. That's very, very important when working with other people. But you can achieve so much more than you can work on your own. So get out to property events, get out to property networking. If you've never been to one of the progressive meetings or one of the PIN meetings, go and give them a try. Go do a Google search. If you want to check our meetings, go to pinmeeting.co.uk and list all the meetings around the country, some of which are physical, some of which are still virtual, which means you can actually attend meetings outside of your area and connect with people you might never otherwise meet. To go to network meetings, they're pretty low investments, £20, £25 or so, but you can actually come to your very first PIN meeting completely free of charge. Just go to pinmeeting.co.uk, go and pick your local location. On that page, scroll down to the bottom, and where you normally pay, just use the voucher code where it says pay with the voucher code, click on that and use the word boxing. Use the word boxing. And there's a link in below this video, and you can come and try your very first PIN meeting for free to see what you've been missing out on. Again, we do our training slightly different to other network meetings. Come and see if you like it. If you don't, hey, go and try other people. There's lots of choice in the property education world, and that's a good thing. Competition is good as well. Go and check people out before you jump into anything to make sure you find the right people to help you on your property journey. So to summarize this video, would I want to get into a charity boxing match with Samuel Leeds or Rob Moore? No, I wouldn't do that because I don't like getting smacked in the face, but I want to congratulate them for the huge amount of money they've raised. Also, they are both absolute marketing and PR geniuses. No matter what you think about them, you have to recognize that. And I just look forward to sharing with you more on this YouTube channel. Check out all the other videos. As ever, I encourage you to invest with knowledge, invest with skill, and click on the link below to come and check out your local Property Investors Network meeting. See you soon. I do hope you got massive value from watching this YouTube video. I'd encourage you to click on the link below to come and do the online training with me. And I've got another video lined up for you, which I think is also going to be really useful that you should watch once you've registered for the online training with me. So invest with knowledge, invest with skill. I'll see you very soon.